Hey, everybody, welcome back to Right to Left. I am your host, Matt, and with me, as always, is my partner in crime, Steve.
Hello.
Right to Left is the show where we talk about manga and you know, anime. We talk about some anime too, but
throw the
mostly
anime in there.
mostly manga because, as you may or may not know, it's, you know, read from the right side to the left side.
Ha! I like how you
It's-
did that, and then you called the show that.
Because it's called Right to Anyway, welcome to episode 1.5.
No, it's episode 2.
Well, it's like
That's episode
we've
2.
been off the air for so long.
It's been a while.
Most people have pretty much forgotten we exist. And the ones that don't forget we exist probably don't remember what we were going to talk about next. So it's like a soft reboot. So, you know, episode 1.5.
Okay, I'll take it.
1.5. It's funnier this way.
I'll take it.
All right. So what do you want to talk about on episode soft reboot 1.5?
Well, you and I were talking off camera,
As we do.
as we do. And, we watch a lot of anime. You read a lot of manga.
We never talk off camera. It's all
It's all serious. This is the
Everything.
only
This is
human
all we
interaction we
ever
get
do.
ever. Just this right here. No, you read a lot of manga. I watch
I
a
do.
lot of anime. I'm more of the anime guy. You're more of the manga guy.
Not to say I don't watch anime.
No,
I do.
because I know you do. But you read manga more.
That's
I
true.
know that for a fact.
That is 100% true.
And one of the things I was noticing was that there's been this weird, I think, transition in anime and manga from like the old stuff, from like the late 80s and 90s, even like before
So, like,
80s.
The 20
I
year
would say
ago
the
classics.
golden age of anime.
The classics.
Yeah,
Okay.
like Gundam, Rurouni Kenshin, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Macross,
All our
and-
favorites growing up.
yeah, and now we have like Bleach and Naruto and all that. I would still say that's more current, considering that most of it's still running. But you got animes and mangas like Attack on Titan, which but that's what's hot. And I watch some of these newer anime and I read some of these manga, and I'm like, they don't really captivate me like they used to. I feel like anime and manga is following this pattern of character development before storyline, but the character development, like,
I don't know.
it's just like the character development. I'm sorry, I think I got that backwards. Character development for storyline. You can now establish a character in one episode, because I feel like a lot of companies that are writing these mangas and anime, they're worried that if they don't capture the audience within that first little bit, that's done for. It's done
Which
for.
makes sense. I mean, I imagine that things would change over time anyway, because your markets are dynamic. I mean, look at just Hollywood movies. What they've done in the past are classics, but those exact premises, they don't work nowadays.
Right.
It doesn't work to captivate their audiences they have now. You've got to play to your demographic. So I can't fault them for that.
Yeah.
But I do see where you're going with that, where a lot of times they'll give you, I mean, for instance, to say, because you mentioned Bleach, how many characters are in that?
I don't even know. Like, legitimately.
I understand if you have a lot of characters and some of them are, I mean, for instance, SpongeBob SquarePants. How many side fish do you see that they have lines? They have lines. They have a voice actor. But do they ever get names?
No.
No.
It's nameless fish,
They
whatever.
don't matter. It's just whatever. But in Bleach, you've got how many captains who each have how many lieutenants? I think there's 11. I believe there's 11. There might be 12. Might be 12 captains.
I don't even know. I
and
can't.
then above the captains, there's like more. There's people above the captains.
Yeah.
And they have names. And there's so many characters. I feel like it's either impossible for you to keep up with it all.
I'm actually going to Google how many Bleach characters there are.
With names. Or
oh my God.
It feels like it's either impossible to keep up with
Nope,
it all.
I give up.
Or
too many.
Or, and this is the thing that I think you're trying to get at, these characters are so cookie cutter, cardboard, waste of space. There's nothing to the character.
Right.
That they're just trying to, okay, let's throw a new character at him. All right, this isn't going to last, so we'll give him 4 episodes and we'll give him a new character.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We're going to need some filler at some point. So here's what we're going to do. We need, I know. Let's make an episode about this side character that nobody cares about. That'll be some
and
filler.
that's another introduction of another character.
Well, I mean, it's the same character already got introduced,
Yeah,
but it's
or-
like we need some filler.
or they'll
let's
throw
do,
in another
Let's do a
character.
whole episode about him.
Yep.
I mean, that's not why I'm reading this. I want to see Ichigo chop some dudes in half.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see
Where's
Ichigo go ham.
in
Where's,
this?
where's he
He's
doing the thing?
not.
Where
This is about like some random lieutenant of some random captain
yeah,
who hasn't even been introduced yet.
yeah.
I-
It's
I-
annoying.
All right.
But with I noticed I'm not saying that there aren't any good manga or anime that are coming out now. Seven Deadly Sins is incredible.
Yeah.
The Castlevania one that Netflix did, the short episodes that they did, it was still amazing. I liked it because I actually felt that those two specifically follow an older pattern, like an older way of introducing character to story
Right.
and maintaining it throughout.
It's not an overload.
Yeah, it's not. And it's one of those things where you're like, I know the character now, but I want more. I want more. Sometimes, man, I watch some anime and I read some mangas and I'm
How
like,
many
I'm
Holy
already
Knights
over.
are there?
Oh my god, so many.
But how many
Yeah.
get names that you actually care about?
Not many.
I can count, I think 5.
You can count that many?
Well, there's Thunder Boy.
Okay.
There's Thor.
I see where you're going with this now. Gotcha.
There's oh Lord, I'm gonna forget their names. The guy who does the bubbles.
The guy who does the bubbles?
Yeah, the shields.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's Hauser.
Mhm.
There's the girl who always has her eyes closed, who does the bombs, the fire bombs, explosions.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then there's the girl who like went cuckoo banana sandwich.
Yeah.
But aside from them, I can't think of any other Holy Knights that I care about
Yeah.
that actually have names.
I don't really care.
The rest of them are just there. And yeah, they do some cool powers and then get cut in half or killed or
Yeah.
whatever.
Because Ba-On is awesome. Meliodan is amazing.
yeah.
But it's just like
But it's not an overload.
I still find myself. It's funny. I just noticed it recently, and it's kind of interesting that we're doing an episode.
And here's another
is
thing
that
for
like
you.
real quick I
Okay.
will find myself watching the newer stuff, and I just don't feel satisfied. And I go back to watch the old stuff, and then I feel satisfied, even if I've watched it 100 times.
Here's another thing though I'm going to throw. We mentioned Bleach. We mentioned Naruto. To an extent, Fairy Tail, which is another big one that has a bajillion characters. They have episodes and just chapters that take a side note of these characters.
Yeah.
Let's take this side character and let's explain more about them, which is cool. I enjoy learning more about the characters, but at the same time takes away from my immersion in the story because I'm being pulled out to go into this new story.
Right.
Whereas, for the sake of the argument, we'll go back to Seven Deadly Sins. I've read the manga all the way up to where the anime ends, and actually where the season 2, the OVAs, where those end. But the side characters that I was just mentioning, the 5 Holy Knights, how many episodes are just about them?
About the Holy Knights?
No, like how many episodes are there where they go out from the main story and tell you about Hauser and how he grew
No,
up?
there's like none.
There's none.
There's
no.
none.
But during the series, do you learn about the Holy
Yeah.
Knights' pasts?
Yep.
So you still know about them.
You learn it through the history of the main role characters. That's how.
But they don't
But
pull
they don't-
you
they
out
don't-
of your
yeah.
immersion. You are still immersed in the story. And I
Yeah.
think that's a big, big thing. There's no chapters of the Seven Deadly Sins manga that pull me out of where I'm reading. I don't get, oh, okay, I guess we're over here now.
Yeah.
The only time it ever did that was at the very, very end of the where the anime ends, and in the anime where Bon jumps off Hawk's mom, and he's
Yeah.
like, "I'll be gone for a while, Captain," and then King flies off and follows him.
Mhm.
The manga, like, it does a hard cut of one chapter, and when you go to the next, it's Bon and King doing their adventure.
Right. Right.
Which makes sense to me because it's one arc ends, next arc starts. It could have been a smoother transition, I guess, if I want to be nitpicky. But I'm not. I'm still in the story.
Right.
I got
right.
pulled out and now I'm in a new one, but I'm not being pulled out of that story to be like, oh, before we tell you the story, let's rewind and tell you all about what happened to the Fairy Kingdom before
Right.
Bon and King got there.
Yeah. It's like, no, I don't.
What? No. They'll tell the story of Vaughn and King, and as they learn what happened while they were away,
So will we.
so will I, because I'm reading it.
Yeah.
But
You know.
people are so intent on just forcing the information down your throat and making their viewers and their readers not think.
Yeah. No, yeah. I just recently watched Black Cat. I don't know if you ever watched Black Cat.
Nope.
But I recently just
I'll add
watched
it to my list.
Black Cat, and it's an old anime. It's older. It's not like super old, but it's old enough.
80s, 90s.
You know, that anime, so I'm gonna specifically say the anime because the anime captured me better than the manga did. The opening sequence to that whole thing to that anime is incredible. There's no dialogue really. There's between two characters. There's no establishment of like setting or anything like that. All you get is you got this dude running across roofs, and he jumps into this cathedral where there's like these nuns. The nuns throw off all their stuff, and they got weapons. And this
They're
dude,
not nuns.
They're like mercenaries. You
Yeah.
know? And this dude who's like run across rooftops and stuff runs in, takes them all out in like a second, like just all of them. Takes them out in a second, and then there's a gun behind this dude's head, and he goes, "I come to deliver some bad luck," and pulls the trigger. And then Black Cat. It's like, damn. I don't know what that was about, but I'm interested for sure. Like, and then like, that's the thing. You don't even know. What am I watching right now? This dude just murked all these nuns and this dude. And then it goes into, it doesn't even go like, hey, we're going to tell you all about this stuff.
Yeah.
They legitimately keep the main character like an enigma for the first like episode or
Because
two.
if you want to know more,
You'll keep watching.
you'll keep watching.
And you do. And then the way you learn about the main character, who the anime is like named after, is actually through the supporting character. The supporting character takes a spotlight and then
Ooh,
goes
wait,
into the
hold
main
on.
character.
Who
It's crazy.
else did this? Oh, who else had a supporting character who was almost like a reporter who told the viewer about what was happening?
Oh, you mean like Trigon?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
that's the one.
Another classic that knows how to tell a story
Yeah.
without force feeding its audience.
Yeah. And it's like I go back to these.
They can capture you as opposed to force feeding you, and then when you are full, go, oh crud, new character.
Yeah, new character. You can't just
Come
keep
on.
throwing new characters in.
Keep
I
your
mean, you
audience
can. But
captivated.
I'm watching the show
Go on,
for.
Peace.
Yeah, God, can't even swim. But it's I've been finding myself like watching anime nowadays and just being bummed out, just being like, oh great, it's this again, or oh great, I see where this is going. Oh wow, this is just boring now. And I'll put Trigun in, or Outlaw Star, or Cowboy Bebop.
Okay, honestly,
you know, and I'll watch it and be entertained
I
every
watch
time.
I watch anime on the internet. I go to free sites because
Millennial. No, I'm
I'm a cheap guy. But you know how I find my anime? I go search by most popular, skip to page 6.
There you go.
Because 6 is just my lucky number. And if I'm in the first like 2 or 3 pages, all I'm gonna get is
Bleach, Naruto.
Bleach this, Naruto Shippuden, Naruto Gaiden,
Naruto
Fairy Tail 2014,
Boruto. Yeah.
both dub and sub, and it's just lining and lining and
Yeah.
lining. I'm like, okay, let's just skip a couple pages, and now I'll get some of the they're high rated because they're rated by popularity, but are not that
Yeah.
force feeding garbage that
Yeah.
they like to give me now.
Yeah. And you and I were talking.
I found some good ones that way.
That's a good way to do it. You know, start further back and then work your way in instead of working your way in and out.
I'm not going to work my way in. I
All right,
I
well.
have no intention of watching every episode of Naruto.
No, I'm saying like stop. Like start at 6, work your way in until you find something that you know, and then stop there. You know.
Unless it's like, Outlaw Star. I'm like,
I'll watch that one again.
I'll watch this one again.
Yeah. Which is funny because we were talking earlier about that too. I didn't notice it or even realize it until you said something because you were talking about Gundam Wing.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, I really like G Gundam, and then we're talking about like Macross and like
Yeah.
Robotech and all this stuff. I was like, oh man, those are great. It's like, when was the last time we had a good space anime like that? Yeah, yeah, Cowboy Bebop.
That might have been the last.
I mean, there was some of those ones that were on Netflix. What is that one? Expelled from Paradise or whatever it was.
Well, that
or-
wasn't a series.
No, but it was a movie.
It was. And it
you
was
know?
good.
It was
liked
good.
it.
It was
I
good.
really liked it.
But as far as like, we don't really get a lot of mecha anime anymore either.
No.
I think the last anime that I watched that had like mechas in it was Code Geass,
Well,
which is amazing.
I also
but-
think that's just another one of those.
anime cliche things.
Well, you're pandering to your demographic. Right now, that's not what's big. Right now, what's big is magic and monsters. So
True.
you've got vampires, you've got titans, you've got like Bleach and Naruto and Fairy Tail, where they've all got like these superpowers and can fly. Okay, maybe Naruto doesn't have superpowers,
Right.
but all the stuff he can do.
Oh, you might as well.
Let me do this jutsu or whatever it's
Jutsu.
pronounced. Jutsu. And there's 20 of me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically magic.
That's yeah.
That's basically
Pretty sure
superpowers.
that's hacking.
Yeah. That's magic.
That's real world hacking.
That's magic.
Yeah. But it bums me out because
That's what's popular.
I love. Well, I do. I remember the ninja thing when Naruto came out was like on. It was like you couldn't watch an anime without there being ninjas involved.
I know.
And actually, there was a thing about that though.
You couldn't go to the mall without seeing somebody wearing
Yeah.
a Naruto headband.
Yeah. I actually dude, still like there's still people that do that.
Yeah,
you know?
but at least
It's
some days
still
you can
down
go to
now.
the mall and not see it.
Yeah, true.
10 years ago,
You couldn't.
you were going
Everyone-
to see one.
yeah.
Maybe 4.
Actually, I think I have it right down here. Actually, I do. This anime,
Oh, I thought you were going to pull out a Naruto headband. I was going to be like, cut it off right now.
This
Just
anime-
end it.
I found this anime through Naruto actually because
Okay.
it involves around ninja. It's called Nabari no O, and it's kind of the same, kind of the premise of Naruto, but it
But there's not like 50 billion characters?
no. It's like this kid who has this this like spirit inside.
Sure.
Same thing, kind of like Naruto.
Yeah.
But the thing is it can be tapped into. It can be harnessed, and people want to get it. He didn't even realize he had it. He just knows like, hey, sometimes weird stuff happens.
Sure.
Thinks it's all a dream, whatever. And it's set in like the modern day.
So he's a Jedi, and the dark side's out to get him,
Something like
to turn him into the Sith.
that.
Got it.
They don't realize that there's like an actual like ninja society that lives like in the current age and all
Sure.
this stuff like that. And he gets kind of pulled in through people at his school who are involved, and like the kids at the school kind of try to protect him, and he like, taps into the power, like,
Right.
and he meets these other ninja who are like, there's this really cool character in this anime. Again, I want to say this because I want people to watch this. It's called Nabari no O, and it's great.
Mhm.
There's a character in the anime and in the manga too that has one of the coolest abilities, and I just think it's unique. But what he does is he literally points his finger out, and he just goes just like that. He shoots his life. He basically taps his life away to use like an ability to harm you specifically. So every time he uses this, called Akira. It's called Kira.
Okay.
Every time he uses it, he loses time on his life
So he's taking minutes away from his life
to kill you.
to take minutes off of your life.
Yeah. It is nuts. So it's like, then, the main character and that guy end up teaming up kind of,
Right.
yeah, it's intense. It's really good. Really, really good. Only ran one season, as good anime does, seems to do. Trigun, Outlaw Star. I'll just, whatever, I'll just go cry. But it's,
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you only need one season.
you do. I will say that, yeah.
Because honestly, if they rebooted Trigun or Outlaw Star,
It'd be weird.
no
I
thanks.
think it'd be weird.
I'm satisfied with it. I'm
Yeah.
literally satisfied with the story.
I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it.
They wrapped it up, and I'm like, that's good. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
But yeah, so from the I know I went on a tangent, but yeah, from the ninja stuff, some good ones did come out. Nabari no O is one of them, and I
Right.
really enjoyed it. It's just kind of like the video game thing. With when Sword Art came out, a whole bunch of other ones came out.
Yeah.
My favorite that I like more of Sword Art Online is Log Horizon. Log Horizon is great. Log Horizon did things that Sword Art didn't, but little things. Like food, for example. When you ate food in Sword Art Online, it was, oh my God, food. It was just food, the food is what it was.
Yeah.
In Log Horizon, food just tastes like garbage. They're just like, it just tastes like mush. Like, you know, there's a character in that anime who I love because he's the relief, and he's like, yesterday I had mush. He's like, this morning I had mush. For dessert I had sugary mush. And for more dessert, more mush. Like, he's just, it sucks. But then they figure out a way to make the food taste good.
Right.
And they go on like a thing about that, and they monopolize it, and they use it to like, for their like, you know, little plant. Dude, it's so good. Like, it's great.
Okay, so to like totally side jump here just a little bit, I'm going off of that manga that I'm all about right now, the Rising of the Shield Hero. In one of the chapters, well, in several chapters, probably about the first like 10 or so, he doesn't care. The quality of food matters. With the right ingredients and the right this and that, food tastes better, as you would expect.
Right.
In this game world that he's in, it all tastes the same to him. There is no flavor. He eats it to survive, but there is literally no flavor. So he has no joy in it. And then in one of the episodes, he finally has like this, or chapters, he finally has this like realization, and he comes more to terms with himself and his, at the time, she's technically his slave. I mean, technically still his with the storyline, but he sees her more as like, she's grown up, she's a friend, she's my partner, not just a tool I use to help me fight.
Right.
And as soon as he like awoke that in him, he's got a sandwich because she saved a bunch of stuff from the banquet. And he's like, oh, that's pretty smart. You save money that way. Cool. And he takes a bite, and it's like, it has flavor. All of a sudden, it's got flavor.
Right.
And it's like, it's mush. It's mush, but then
it's mush,
something clicks, and now it's got flavor.
Yeah. You know, so it's kind of just like, it's kind of disappointing because I want something fresh. I want something new, you know. But at the same time, I don't want something so new that it changes, like it's like changes everything about anime that I know and love. But then again, I just think we've taken this turn away from what anime used to be. Anime also had a very unique style to it, art style, and it was that like old rough 80s hand drawn. You know,
I don't mind the changes.
I don't mind the change so much.
I don't mind the changes to the
there
style.
There are some changes I don't.
I don't mind the changes to the themes.
Right.
You got to sell to your audience. I get that. What I would love to see is they take something new, break away from the current themes, try something a little new, but use the patterns that are tried and true. Go back to the 90s and look at those storylines and go, okay, let's use a storyline that follows this like pattern, but let's throw this new spin on it based on what we're seeing nowadays.
Right.
You know what? Let's have some magic and monsters, but let's throw it in the future where there's robots in space.
Yeah.
And so magic's not real. We already know all there is to know about magic because of science.
Right.
Boom. Insert magic. What is this nonsense? And all of a sudden you've got a twist, but it needs to follow the old pattern. You got to have the old pattern.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I just find myself, again, like I was saying, going back to the classics. And it's not like, I love the classics, you know.
Who doesn't?
I have watched, I seriously can't count how many times I've watched Rurouni Kenshin in its entirety. I can't tell you how many times I've watched Trigun in its entirety. Like,
okay, now that's another thing I'm going to throw at you. Earlier you mentioned, the good animes, they only run one season. How many times would you have watched Trigun in its entirety if it had as many episodes as Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z?
If it was good, if it held up,
it was still as good. Well, the thing is, yes, but how many times do you watch it in its entirety?
Not
Not as many, because there's so many freaking episodes.
I think I've watched Dragon Ball. I think I have
Like
watched
3
Dragon
times?
Ball, Dragon Ball Z, GT, the movies, and Super right now.
GT, why?
I just watch it because it's
I
part,
know.
you know.
I know.
And not saying it's great, but I've still watched it.
Still better
But
than
I think
Attack
I
on
haven't watched. Yeah, you know that is true though. GT is better than Attack on Titan. But I think I've watched Dragon Ball all the way through where we are now, like probably legitimately 3 times. maybe
That-
3
That
times.
feels about right.
all the way through. Now I have watched certain.
Kind of disappointed right now
What?
because I'm looking around for like any sort of pole or bar or anything, and I was just gonna throw it on the ground right there at our feet, and I'd have been like, "That's the bar Attack on Titan sets." So obviously GT's better than it.
GT at least had likable characters. Trunks, he was in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, Goku was still kind of in it.
I do like Trunks.
Yeah,
He's pretty awesome.
but you know,
Nothing
it's
beats
just like
Future Trunks though.
I have watched sagas though multiple times, but I haven't watched it in its entire. Like I've probably watched the Cell Saga alone, probably like 10 or 15 times.
Yeah, but that's
Easy.
and that's what I'm saying. Like that's similar to one season.
Yeah,
So those are ones where like
Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah, I would love to have seen Trigun go longer, have a bigger story, but at the same time, those ones that last 1-2 seasons, 24 episodes, I can watch that over and over and over and over.
My only thing about Trigun that I can say that I'm sorry that I wish that they would have done. Okay, the movie that they did recently was great. I thought it was good.
Blasphemy alert, viewers.
What?
Go ahead.
What are you talking? No, there is no blasphemy. That's it. I thought it was great.
No, I mean whatever you were gonna say. The only thing they could do differently, blasphemy alert. Blasphemy alert.
Not what they could do differently.
Go ahead.
But what I wish they would have done.
Mhm.
And so the movie was great. I wish that they would do another movie. Instead of adding on a series, I wish they would do another movie of what happened after he got knives. What
Okay.
happened after?
Okay, so like one of those like Expelled from Paradise, hour and 15.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because we already did an hour 15 of what they were doing, of where Wolfwood
Okay.
was and all that.
You know
in
what?
the
I'm down
Rumble.
with that. I'm down with that.
And it was
That's
great.
not blasphemy at all.
No, it was great. The way that they ended Trigun was great. I was like, okay, he found peace, with all this stuff,
Yeah.
and he got control of knives. It was the whole thing with Rem saying, hey, take care of knives. He took care of knives,
And that's
but
okay,
he just walked off. What happens
that's
now?
That's another thing that I really, really like about how older shows, and not just anime, but I mean we're talking about anime, used to run.
Yeah,
What's the end of Outlaw Star? Very last episode.
the Galactic Ley Line. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but after the Galactic Ley Line, the very last scene before
I just
credits
assumed
roll,
they all live in harmony.
before credits roll, it shows Jean and Melfina
Yeah,
at what's her name? Space Pirate at the very start.
yeah.
Her. They're at her grave.
Mhm.
Jean throws some flowers on there. Melfina cries a little bit. He comforts her, pinches her cheek. Hey, everything's good.
Mm.
Yeah, they're back to square one. They're still in debt. They still, the Galactic Ley Lines moved or whatever. They got what they wanted out of it, blah, blah, whatever, which is no money, but then they kind of walk off down the street because Jim is waiting in the car.
Yeah.
Credits roll, and then the last thing you see before, like after the credits, they're all in the ship. They're about to take off, and then Twilight's there.
Yep.
And like, wait, I thought you were coming. You guys are interested. I'm coming along.
Yep.
All right. And then Aisha pops in.
Mm.
I'm coming too.
All right.
Here we
Here we
go.
go. like,
Ship
what-
takes off, and it goes, see you again. And it's like, that's it.
That's it.
But the thing is, it's off to the next great adventure. He just walks away
Yeah.
out into the desert.
He just
What
walks
happens
away
next?
and he looks at the camera like,
What happens next? Off to the next great adventure. That's the thing. It's a good ending. I'm satisfied with the ending. But at the same time, if they did more, it's open.
right.
And even if they don't do more, in my mind, I can imagine they're just off on the next great adventure. That's good storytelling.
No, yeah.
That is
I agree.
great storytelling.
I just, for me, when it comes to Trigun specifically, is like, because I read the manga before I watched the anime, by
Right.
the way, and then I watched Trigun Maximum, which is the transition.
Still good.
Trigun Maximum started when he went into hiding the second time.
Okay.
He had the long hair and everything. After the Angel Arm came out again, and then he went out and he hid. It starts
Globe
there.
the moon.
Yeah, and he started there. Eric's, when he was Eric's, is
Okay.
what they were calling it.
Yeah.
Starts there. It was great. My thing was like, okay, they're living on this planet, and he blew a hole in the moon. We already know that whole story.
Sure.
He piccoloed it, and whatever happens to the planet, because now it's like we have the plants, the plants, the light bulbs and everything like that. And, Knives was doing some juju. Legato pulled some craziness. I could not believe that was one of the saddest moments in anime history. Was like that character was
Not
so
sadder
willing
than Edward.
to God, Edward. He was willing to put himself through. That dude, Legato easily is one of the gnarliest anime villains of all time. Easily. He was psychologically damaging to the point where he was willing to kill himself to prove a point.
Yeah.
To dude,
I'll sink the ship I'm on just to kill the captain.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And he did. And I was like, that's insane. It's crazy. And it's like, okay, you got Knives and everything. It's like, okay, what happens to the world now? What happens to I don't care about Millie and all them, all that stuff. I'm not saying I don't care about them, but
I
it's
was like, how
I
could
know
you
what
not
I
care
know
about Millie?
I know what they went.
Millie's great.
Millie's great, and I feel bad for her about Wolfwood.
Yeah.
But it's like they went back to being insurance girls, all that stuff. I know they did, but it's like,
or reporter girls.
You can't tell me, they didn't try to meet up with Vash again after that situation.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that nothing came. What happened to Vash? He's still wanted.
I don't see why you wouldn't be.
What happens? That's what I'm thinking. Because it wasn't Vash's fault. It was Knives' fault. It's like,
yeah.
So I don't know. It's just, but I go back and I watch it and I enjoy it and it's great. And and I watch. I go back to I always go back to Macross.
Yeah.
That's the one I go back to. I go Macross and then Gundam. And then I watch some old animes. I watch some old anime movies. I watch Akira, and then I watch Ghost in the Shell.
Right.
I watch the movies. And then I even watch some of the Kiki's Delivery Service. I watch those ones too.
Easily one of my favorite Ghibli's.
It's great. And then it's just I go back to that stuff, and I just have a hard time.
Yeah.
Watching the new stuff or reading the new stuff because it's all
that's another
monotonous.
That's another thing I don't really like about the new stuff. One of my go-tos, love rom-coms, my favorite, Nisekoi. I'm going to butcher that name. I have no idea how to pronounce it. Whatever. It ends. There's a decent amount of characters. There's 230 some odd chapters.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably, they introduce a bunch of new characters. It's your typical harem rom-com, except that as it goes on, he's trying to find the one, and as you add more and more characters, they're getting they get to stay in the story, but as far as in the running for the one goes, they start falling off one by one, so you can care less about them, and they're just side characters now. And the story does a good job of staying with that. They don't get a whole lot of page time after that. They're there. Right. They're good comedy relief, but they're not a lot of page time. They don't make whole chapters dedicated to them anymore.
Right.
Because they don't matter anymore. And then when it ends, he picks the one, blah, blah, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to get married, blah, 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 blah. But it doesn't show a wedding. It doesn't show them getting married. They meet where they had met 10 years ago that first time, and that's it. And it's just one of those rose petals across the panel. Thank you for blah, blah, whatever, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. My next work's coming out, blah, blah, blah. But it leaves you with the off to the next great adventure.
Right.
It's that open story that they don't do in the new ones.
Mm.
Look at Bleach. Where's the ending?
I don't know. I never got that far.
Look at One Piece. Where's the ending?
Where's the beginning?
It hasn't yet. It hasn't ended.
Is Fairy Tail done yet?
Fairy Tail is, I believe, Fairy Tail 2014, which is a pick-up off of that, a sequel, is still running.
Okay.
They
Fairy
ended
Tail's
Fairy
great.
Tail.
I do like Fairy Tail.
They ended it.
Yeah. I like
after, I think, 500-something chapters.
God. Well, that's nothing considering what's out there now, but maybe that's the other thing. Maybe anime, companies and manga, right? They're afraid to end it. Because I think they're afraid, if we end it, that's the end of the franchise.
We're going to lose
money.
The money.
I don't know.
And it's then move on to the next franchise.
Yeah. So that's why I have a lot of respect for 4Kids and all those guys that did stuff for Pokemon and stuff like that. Was it 4Kids that did Pokemon? I think it was. I can't remember. Whoever did Pokemon is because they were they tapped it Nintendo. It's a Game Freak.
Yeah.
But they did like they geared it towards children so that kids would always have something to grow up with.
Yeah.
And they had a physical aspect to it as well, and games stuff like that. Some anime tries it and they just can't do it.
Pokemon did a
do it.
great job.
Pokemon did.
I don't know
fantastic.
how to verbalize it, but they did a fantastic job of marketing to both children and I want to say young adults because I still love Pokemon. I still love watching it. It's still great. And guess what? I'm not a kid no more. But there's still kids out there who love it. You know what my wife just did? Because she just needed to do it.
Oh, God.
She hopped on Amazon and she bought us both Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Nah. Nice.
We still love it as adults, but they still are able to market it to kids. I don't know. I can't verbalize how they did it, but they managed to do something where they can still market it to kids that they can grow up with. And when they grow up with it,
Ash will still be
with
10.
it. Well, yes. But the thing is, I'm still playing. I'm still watching.
Yeah. I still watch. It's funny because I watched an episode now. Doesn't matter who it is. I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm like, Team Rocket in 3, 2, Team Rocket. Blastoff. Oh, Blastoff. Oh, everything's great.
Wait,
It's
hold on.
like,
All right.
I know every
All right,
episode.
Ash is going to open his mouth and insert his foot.
Yeah.
Then he's going to bite off more than he can chew. Here comes the fight. Yep, he's getting whooped. Oh, he's getting beat good.
Here goes Pikachu.
Oh, here comes Pikachu. Oh, Pikachu got whooped. Oh, boy, I hope he has something to interrupt this fight because otherwise he's going to lose. And Team Rocket. There we go.
And make it double.
Oh, wait. So now the guy he was fighting teams up with him to fight
now
off Team Rocket. Okay, they're blasting off again. We made friends. The fight never really happened. We're good to go.
He gets a
Everybody
gym
lives
badge.
happy ever after. He wins a gym badge even though he didn't actually win the fight. And we move to the next city.
Yep.
Excellent.
And on the next episode,
Ash
do it
opens
all
his mouth
over
and
again.
inserts his foot. We do it again.
all over again. It's great.
Filler episode where he's not in a city and he finds some random trainer out in the woods. Open mouth, insert
mouth,
foot.
yeah. Like when he went to the circus, the dude who had won like 1,000 matches or whatever it was, he had that Sandshrew.
No, the 999.
Yeah,
And he was gonna win 1,000,
Yeah.
and Ash was like, "I'll beat you."
No, you're not.
No,
No, you're not.
you brought a Pikachu to a Sandshrew fight. You gotta
And that
lose.
Sandshrew was
That Sandshrew.
real.
There was a reason that guy won 999 fights in a row.
Yeah, because that Sandshrew was fire, dude. Like that Sandshrew was on it. But yeah, it's just I love Pokemon. But yeah, it's just I'm having a hard time. That's I think I don't really have much more to say than that. It's just like I'm having a hard time. I still love anime and I still love manga and I'm going to continue to watch it forever. I
I am
prefer
too.
to watch it more than like Americanized cartoons and stuff.
I'm-
But it's just hard now.
I'm gonna say for our viewers out there who are similar to our opinion, where I mean, don't get me wrong, you sit me in front of a couple chapters of Bleach, I'll read them. It's not unreadable. The only thing I can't even wrap my head around, and I refuse to because I just after 2 or 3 chapters I went, this is garbage, is Attack on Titan.
I couldn't.
I'll even do One Piece. It gets so monotonous and I can't keep doing it, but I'll do it. But if you're of that same opinion where the newer stuff is just, it's like they're trying to drag on a franchise for too long to milk it for what it's worth. Just wherever you read your manga, wherever you watch your anime, skip the first few pages and try something that's still popular, but maybe not as well known. You'll find some hidden gems.
Yep.
Because those hidden gems tend to follow the older patterns.
Yep.
And sometimes they even have some of the older art, which is really cool.
Yeah, which is really cool. Yeah, I like watching anime, and it's kind of like a throwback with to like the old art styles. Yeah.
I mean,
It's just like it's great. This anime that's for those of you,
it's literally right there.
it's right there.
There you go. Cowboy
It's amazing.
Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop is amazing. I don't know I've never talked to any person in the world who does not like Cowboy Bebop. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, you have.
Who?
Our kind of previous producer, still I guess producer on hiatus.
Joey? Chad?
She's our current producer.
Chad? Oh, Brian. Brian doesn't like Cowboy Bebop?
He and Stuart made that like deal where Stuart said, "You watch Bebop, I'll watch One Piece."
Oh, that's
and
right.
Brian watched like one episode and went and didn't watch it. And Stuart gave One Piece like I think
Like
he said he gave it like
100
130 episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like, nope, still garbage.
Yep. I didn't know that. Okay, well, never mind.
Yeah, Brian watched like one episode.
Other than Brian, I don't know anybody who didn't like Cowboy Bebop. I don't know anybody who didn't like freaking Rurouni Kenshin. I don't know anybody who didn't like Trigun. I don't know anyone.
Oh, I hated Trigun.
Like, you're
I'm
so
sorry,
full
I
of it.
can't do it.
You're full of it.
Blasphemy alert.
You know, it's like I just, you know, it's just like people that say that, you know, they don't like freaking. I don't know. There's so many.
Big O.
Big O. You know, Gundam. Any of the actually, I know people don't like Gundam because people think Gundam anime is too complicating. You know.
Okay, the Tournament Gundam was just like Dragon Ball GT.
Right.
Pretty dumb.
I agree.
I didn't like it.
I agree. I don't know.
But Gundam Wing.
What I'm trying to say
Oh,
is
dude.
just like, well, I guess just watch some classics, try and compare. Realize that anime is not getting better; it's getting monotonous.
The big ones. The big
ones are
names.
getting monotonous.
The big names are getting monotonous because they're trying to hang on to the franchise for too long and they're
Mm-hmm.
just shoving it down their throats, not making their viewers think for themselves.
Yeah.
Go back a few pages, watch some of the stuff that's not the top 5 anime that's up right now, and you'll find some good stuff.
Yep. I've had a lot of people that talk to me. Oh man, did you see what this anime or this anime or this anime? And I'm like, no. They're like, why? It's great. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not great. You know? I always tell people, I'm like, you ever watch an anime called Zatch Bell? You ever watch Zatch Bell? They're like, no. And I'm like, that is what your anime you're talking to me about is right now. That's my difference. Ranma, you know? How many people have watched Big Wind Up? Nobody.
I'm about to say nobody.
Nobody. But it's like people talk to me about anime these days, and
Prince
I'm
of
like,
Tennis!
Prince of Tennis. No idea. Don't care.
Good manga.
Okay. Escaflowne.
Oh, yeah.
People forget about that anime all the time, and I'm like, dude, that was a fantasy mech universe. If you liked Sailor Moon, like it was just like great.
Yeah.
Like, so people talk to me about anime, and I'll.
Oh, what was another good one? Blue Seed? That was
Blue
a little,
Seed.
That was a little gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, there's so many, you know, and it's just like, and they're like, I never heard of that. And I'm like, you are missing out on great, like pivotal anime.
And you know what? I think that's another thing that kind of for the anime and manga, more so for the anime, less for the manga, just genres. You've got Naruto, Bleach, Fairy Tail, Attack on Titan, One Piece. Those are your big 5.
Those are the biggest right now, yeah.
Everyone's reading. They're going on forever into oblivion. They're overshadowing. You've got the smaller animes. They're not getting a shot at the limelight because these big ones are making money, so they keep pushing the big ones.
Yeah.
And it's like your one season winners, the one that you're supposed to watch, viewers,
Naruto.
they don't get a shot. They don't get a chance to shine.
They don't. But then you get people like me who give them a shot and they watch and they're
Yeah.
incredible.
That's why I think the manga world is a little bit nicer about that, because you've got these artists, they're big name artists who are making the popular ones and just running a 30-page chapter out every week in Shonen Weekly Jump, just going and going and going. But you've got these littler guys. Shonen Weekly is a magazine.
Yeah.
It's got multiple mangas in it. Maybe you're on the back 20 pages, but you're in it.
Yeah, you're in.
And you get a shot. And if people like it, you get picked up and you get to stay in it.
Yep.
And suddenly your story gets to finish. And I'm like, that's pretty awesome.
That actually was just Shonen Weekly, right?
Shonen Weekly.
Shonen Weekly was how I found out about Shaman King.
Ooh.
And I was like, I had no idea what it was. I read it and I was like, this is
awesome.
nuts. Like, I need to watch it. And I'm a huge fan of Shaman King. Love Shaman King.
Yeah.
Because of that. It was like, I never heard of it though. And that's the thing. No one ever talked to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Normally I would go and people would spout off 12 different anime. Never heard about Shaman King. It had already been out for like 2 years. Never heard. I was like, this looks amazing.
Because it's not front page of Shonen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's near the
It was
back.
like Yu-Gi-Oh on the front for some reason.
Well, because 10 years ago that was popular.
That was not hot news.
Yeah,
True.
that was hot.
True.
Hey,
True.
Yugi's still hot.
Yeah, he is.
And if
Anyway.
I didn't say that, he'd banish me to the Shadow Realm for it.
Oh man. Oh, that maybe we should wrap up.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah. Go watch some anime.
We've been ranting about how much fallen the new age has.
It has. I'm not. Again, I want to make it clear that I'm not saying the anime is bad. It's just I just feel like it's gotten monotonous.
It's not. It's not bad.
just feel like it's
just
gotten monotonous.
the change they've made, the shift to the viewers and readers not having to think for themselves, is a huge letdown.
Mhm.
I don't mind the shift from space and mechs to monsters and magic. I don't mind that. That's just the times change. It'll shift back to something else sooner or later. Someone will come out with something new that'll be hot and it'll go.
I hope
pick
it
off.
comes back to the space stuff, man, because I like it.
Eventually.
I love it.
Always will.
I like the Gundam stuff.
It just picks up. But the readers don't have to think for themselves anymore.
No, they don't.
Let's cram a new character at you, but first let's give you their entire backstory. But I just got pulled out of the story to learn that.
to learn that. Yeah.
Why not throw them in and then periodically throughout the next 10 chapters give me one panel flashbacks, or they say something,
Yeah.
and then suddenly I go, click, click, that's
Let me piece
dark.
it together myself.
That's a really messed up
Yeah.
backstory. No wonder you're a total
Tool.
douche nozzle.
Yeah. You're a total two bag. Yeah.
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 But they went away from that, and
It's all spoon fed now.
that's what I don't like.
As quick as possible too.
Mhm.
The moment you turn it on, if they don't catch 10 minutes, it's like, geez, oh god, it's like getting destroyed.
Yeah. Look at Bleach. I mean, how long is it before Ichigo chops his first hollow in half?
Oh my gosh.
7 minutes into the episode?
It's like right after he gets Rukia's ability.
It's like 7 minutes into the
right
episode,
after.
he cuts a hollow in half.
Yeah.
Because he's just, I'm hanging out with my dad and my sisters. Oh, the house just blew open. It's a giant monster.
Oh, it's a
You,
butterfly.
Let me get your power.
Yeah,
Cool, thanks.
oh.
Oh, no. And now I'm Ichigo.
Yep. Oh no, I took all your powers. Now I'm the best thing.
Sure, that's cool.
Going in to show the world.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not
Over it.
bad, but
Over it.
you just...
I can only watch that same freaking. Just.
I just don't like being force-fed.
I'm over it.
I like to think for myself.
Yeah. And with that, we're gonna say go watch some anime. Go watch some anime. Enjoy yourselves.
Go
Read some manga.
too.
Yeah.
My pick, I'm going to rant and rave about this forever. So my manga pick, you're going to want to go read Tate no Yusha no Naregari, The Rising of the Shield Hero.
He's been on me about that for
Dude, it is
months now.
It is
Yeah.
very well done. It's just enough dark. It's just enough funny. They don't make you they don't shove it in
I'm
your
gonna have
face.
to watch it now
You think
because,
for
yeah.
yourself. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
What's your anime pick?
My anime pick is Nabari no O. It's a Nabari Nabari space No space OU. Nabari no O. Incredible. It's so good and it's so incredibly underrated. You need to see this. And you make a good comparison from any ninja anime you've ever
Okay,
watched.
so
It's so
for
good.
people who watch Naruto, go watch this, and you'll get to see something good for once.
Hey. Oh boy. Well, thank you everyone for listening to us talk about anime and manga.
It's been fun.
It's been fun. And we're gonna do more of these.
We are definitely going to do more of these. What do we do
Hey.
next time?
And if you guys have recommendations for us, you can tweet at us. You can find
That's
me on
true.
Twitter at that Stephen Brown. Send me your recommendations. I'll read them and watch them, and I'll let you know what I think of them.
I will do the same thing, and you can find me at Believe the Weave.
So yeah, send us your recommendations. We'll talk about them. We'll actually talk about them on the show.
Yeah.
too. And
You
we'll,
got
we'll
something you
shout
want me
you
to
out
read?
and everything.
Just shoot it to me.
Yeah.
I'll give anything a chance. I will give anything several chapters.
I would say though, hopefully something not mainstream. Something not mainstream. Because if you say One Piece, I'm gonna be like, I'm not reading it. I'm not watching it.
I've already read several chapters of One Piece.
Yeah.
If you tell me Attack on Titan, I've already read the first 5. I put it down.
Yeah.
But if you give me something new, I will always give it at least 5 chapters. I give everything 5 chapters.
Yeah. Send us some stuff. We'll check it out. we'll shout you guys out and we'll talk about it on the show. Maybe we even have you on the show one of these times. You never know.
Yeah.
Give you a call on Skype or something like that. We'll see what
knows?
happens.
At least by name.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, so and so here told me I should read this, and I hadn't heard about it. So I read it, and I found out this was garbage. No, it was. This was
It
great.
is so
This
good.
person's terrible. They're a terrible person for saying this.
Ruined my year. 2018 sucks. Yeah, do it. Do it. Send us your recommendations. So.
Yeah.
I got nothing else to add.
No,
all
neither do
done.
I. I think that's.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go carry knives off into the desert and we'll never figure out what's going on.
That sounds great. And hey, I'm gonna blast off, and then the screen can cut to black, and it can be like, "See you later." You should really do that.
I'm going
It
to.
should totally do
I'm
that.
going to now. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see
Bye,
you next
guys.
time. Bye.